Welcome back. Now we will go through some of the background settings. You can choose between a number of background types such as solid color that you can just paste your code into or use our picker. You can also choose a slideshow, which is image based with 3 different styles. You can also choose a video that you can host or a YouTube or Vimeo video. This is our solid color background. Let's try out a slideshow. So let's select Ken Burns, which comes with a number of different options that you can use to customize. Then at the slideshow images option, click on upload, click on add to gallery, and then just select a number of photos that you'd like to use for the slideshow. Then simply drag those images and wait for them to upload. As the upload is done, you may also add some captions for the images, helps with the SEO. But that's about it. So now we set up our slideshow images. Let's save and refresh. There we go. So we see that our background now has a lot more to do with our actual brand. This actually looks quite interesting. Let's also try some different types of slideshow. So that was the Ken Burns. Now if we refresh and use the fade option, you'll notice that the images are static, they no longer move around, and of course after the timer runs out they're simply going to fade in between one another and use that as the transition. We also included something I find quite cool, which is a continuous fade. So basically this is a never-ending fade between images. And you can also customize the duration, obviously. One cool thing is that you can also reorder the images, add more to gallery, remove them, and if you only want one single photo with no slideshow, just remove all the others, keep one photo, and now you have a static photo as a background. Alright, well, this looks quite smart actually. Why not? So these are basically your gallery options. Next, let's try the video background option. We can choose a video fallback image that shows up instead of the video on mobile devices. So as a demo, let's use the video that we included in the MiniGO package that you find in assets. So we'll use background.jpg and background.mp4, upload them to our WordPress media library, and as soon as the upload is finished, let's just select the image as the fallback. Now we can then select the actual video, so let's remove the other formats and we'll only be using MP4, which is plenty. We can then choose other options for the video, but let's just refresh and see how that changes. Now that's a big change. Alright, so that's basically how hosted video works. Then let's try YouTube. We no longer need that fallback image, however we can still use it if we need a custom one. Then we can enter the YouTube URL of the file that we want to use. In this case I pasted a nice video of V8s. You can also control the time you want the YouTube video to start at. In our case we'd rather start at second 27 because this video has an intro. So now that we refresh, we'll notice that the video starts skipping the intro. So that's a very useful control. You can also choose when you want to end it as well. Now for the Vimeo, you'll notice that each Vimeo video has an ID in its link. So just use that ID. It's pretty much the same as with YouTube. In addition, you can also use a gradient background on top of the video. It will be overlaid, and you can also choose the opacity as well as the angle and colors. On top of the gradient background, if you want, you can also add a JavaScript animation. We include 30 different animations that you can pick from. You can also control the JavaScript opacity as well, and even add a pattern overlay where you can choose from one of our presets or upload your own. As a matter of advice, ideally you don't want to overuse these options, even though you can obtain some really cool effects. This is a bit strong, obviously, but it's a demo after all. We'll revisit it. So we see these creatures following the clicks. We see the pattern overlay. We also notice the gradient background. So let's tone down the pattern overlay opacity so you see how this works. So now it's slightly more bearable, but obviously a better color choice would be a good idea. Either way, this is pretty much it. Let's return to some simpler settings and move on with some more of the options. Next, we're going to cover the form settings. So I'll see you soon.